severe blow to me. I knew how courageous these men had been on the Long March and on other occasions. I knew their willingness to endure, to experiment, and, as Deng used to say, to seek truth from facts. In this brief work, I've tried to present one man's opinion of the accomplishments and the life of the People's Republic of China in 40 years. What it has accomplished, its goals, its losses, its mistakes, its failures, and what remains, what it must do if it is to again gather its forces together and move forward in an effort to demonstrate to the world that it is capable of those great achievements which its remarkable talents enable it to do if it can be united, if it has a common purpose, if it is well led.
Good evening. ATV's main news for Monday, the 15th of October. Tonight, Hong Kong and Chinese experts have opened talks on the new airport project, and KMB has warned that bus fares may rise.
Overseas, the Soviet leader, Mr. Gorbachev, has won the Nobel Peace Prize, and Iraq has described a statement by Britain's Foreign Secretary as a threat of war.
Singapore's Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew has advised Hong Kong people not to confront China if they want cordial ties with the mainland in the future. As Nick Mould reports, Mr. Lee believes Hong Kong has a trump card that could prove to Beijing how important the territory is to the mainland's future prosperity.
The striking of a realistic relationship with Beijing, said Mr. Lee, would never come out of political argument. Instead of confronting the regime, Hong Kong should use another premise.
You have the right, under the agreement they have reached with Britain, to leave Hong Kong at any time you wish, because the Hong Kong limited passport is valid.
Should the territory's top professionals choose to exercise that right simultaneously, it would, Mr. Lee said, send a clear message to the mainland.
I will prove to 1,100 million Chinese why democracy has brought prosperity, options, not just consumer options, but political options, lifestyle options, for 5.5 billion people of Hong Kong, and therefore you 1,100, or by then 1,150 million people in China, should draw the moral from that.
Mr. Lee's calls for realism came amongst an attack on the foreign press in Hong Kong. He accused it of fostering excessive optimism about the 1984 agreement governing the handover of sovereignty to China, and excessive pessimism following the military crackdown in Beijing last June. His message, however, was further reinforced by the Deputy Governor, Sir David Ford. Also addressing the Commonwealth Press Union, Sir David said mutual understanding will be essential if the concept of one country, two systems is to work.
Certainly Hong Kong people are very pragmatic about their relationship with China and have no wish to confront her. The underlying key to the success of that relationship, and it has been successful despite some highly publicized differences, the underlying key has been the recognition by all concerned of the immense mutual benefit to be gained from a prosperous Hong Kong making a significant contribution to the modernization of China.
Hong Kong and Chinese experts have held their first day of talks on the new airport project. As Fanny Fung reports, both sides described today's discussions as useful.
The first day of talks lasted until this evening, but both sides refused to disclose details. The spokesman of the Chinese team, Lord Jiahuan, said it was a good briefing, while the Secretary for Economic Services, Anson Chen, described today's meeting as a good start. The talks began this morning, as mainland officials were still attacking Hong Kong for making sudden changes to the airport plan, just days before the meeting of experts. But Sir David Ford, who chaired the morning session, emerged with a positive note.
We've had a very useful and a very friendly start to these talks. We're looking forward to them very much indeed, and we'll be coming to talk to you towards the end of the week.
11 days are set aside for the talks between Hong Kong and Chinese experts here at Colvin House. Topics on the agenda include the overall planning of the $127 billion project, other related facilities, and the financial implications. During their stay here, members of the Chinese team will tour the new airport site at Chek Lap Kok and